everybody, to the We Three Bros podcast. It's me and Joseph again this week. Justin had a little bit of family issues, so we're not going to hold it against him, but hopefully everything's good, and we hope to see him back next week. Joseph, what's up?
What's up, man? It's good to be here. I'm afraid. I'm afraid when people say family issues, he doesn't have any family issues. His family's fine at the moment, but yeah, definitely. Can't wait for him to come back, man, so we can get all three bros here in this podcast. But yeah, man, I'm doing pretty good, Derek. How are you, man?
I'm all right. Slow week at work, but today's my Friday, so I'm off the next 3 days.
How did you finesse that, man? You calling in sick tomorrow? What's going on?
Every other week, man, I get Friday off. It's the way my schedule works.
So are they hiring? I mean, I don't know what kind of kind of job you do, man. I'm just kidding. I do know what kind of job you do. But yeah, are they hiring and just walk in there and be like, "Can I put in an application?"
We just hired a new person that starts at the end of the month because we had one person move to another location down in Florida. So,
but yeah, undisclosed man, always, location.
They're always looking.
They're always looking and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I like Texas. Maybe Michigan might be the place, but it's a little bit warmer down here, man. Let's be real.
Yeah, but we have all 4 seasons, not just hot and hotter.
You are not wrong, man. You are not wrong. I do miss all 4 seasons, which is one of those things where it's just like there's just something about spring and fall, man, that it's just like I hate to be that person. I'm gonna sound like I'm so cheesy. They're just magical. It's fucking magical to me. I don't care. It's magical to me, man. The fall and the spring, man, they're just great. They're great times of the year because it's not too cold, not too hot. It's just like perfect weather.
Yeah.
You can go out and do some stuff, man. Whether it's a festival, concert, or it doesn't matter what it is, man. Anything outside during those times are like perfect. Right before it gets fucking cold as a brick.
Yeah.
Again, up north, of course, not in Texas, but just before it gets cold as a brick. And or too fucking hot in the sun where you're just having like a heat stroke out there because the sun's just beaming on you and stuff, right? But yeah, man, let's get into the podcast here, man. Let's get into some things. Man, what have you been watching this week? What have you been doing this week, man? Besides work, I know that takes a lot of your time, but I know you got some free time, man. What are the things you're getting into?
Still watching Dexter. Still rewatching it all. Oh, like midway through the 6th season.
The new season came out, didn't it?
No, not till November.
Oh shit!
So a new trailer came out for it.
That's what it is.
The season starts again in like mid-November, end of November, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, so I want to be all caught up and ready. And it was so long ago that I really when I watched it the first time.
Yeah.
So there's stuff I forgot that I'm, noticing as I'm going back through and rewatching all the episodes.
I think that's one of the cool things about rewatching shows. Sometimes it's just like you catch so many things. Like even like I've seen The Office probably like 10 times, man. Yeah. Whether you like the show or not, man, but I've seen it so many times just rewatching it. And every time I rewatch it, there's always something. I'm just like, oh shit, I didn't know that was there, right?
Yeah. That and Practical Jokers. I watch Practical Jokers all the time.
Oh yeah, I know you're a huge fan, man.
One of my favorite shows, yeah. And of course, the last 2 episodes, because we weren't here last week. So the last 2 episodes of Rick and Morty, got through both of those.
What do you think of the 2 episodes? Right. So before we get into the Go-Go-Trons, what do you think of the turkey episode?
That turkey episode was hilarious. I liked it. I thought it was funny as hell.
Just again, I don't know what the conversations. It reminds me, like, I feel like their creative room where they get everything set up, is not too different of the room of like Mortal Kombat and their like fatalities. Like I think I remember I read an article one time and they were like interviewing some of the people that worked for worked on Mortal Kombat, and they're coming up with fatalities, and they were sitting there and just like. Yeah, sometimes we get so far in wanting to go over the top that we have to stop and be like, oh, we went too far, right? Like I think one of them, like one of the guys was telling the story about like somebody fatalitying somebody and then peeing on them. and they were like, okay, maybe that's a little too far. You know what I mean?
Like teabagging somebody.
Yeah, like teabag. They're just unzipping their pants. You see Sub-Zero's ass all frozen and shit, and he's just fucking teabagging somebody or whatever. So just being just being in the creative rooms, I feel like that creative room is not that different or far off from the creative room of like Rick and Morty, man. Because the things that they just like, I was just like, I was sitting there staring at the screen, just like besides myself, man. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Why are they turkeys? Now they're not turkeys, but then like the president, like, is the president a match for Rick and like for Rick? Like,
Yeah.
is he like? I mean, we know he's like somewhat nemesis, but they get along,
Yeah.
but they don't get along. Like,
Yeah.
is he the perfect match for him in Planet Earth?
Probably he's probably not like as much of a genius as Rick,
Not at all. Not at all. Not as
but
smart as
he's
him.
just as like conniving and controlling and um willing to do whatever he needs to get his way.
Is he the version of Rick if Rick decided to be president? You think?
Yeah, but I don't think Rick would ever want to do anything like that. Like
No,
he
no,
would
no,
never
no.
want to be in control
Of course.
of
Well,
something like that. Like, of course, of what he does and where he goes and his own life, he's totally always going to be in control. Won't
yeah,
ever
yeah.
relinquish control. But
Sorry,
as
I'm
far as
laughing.
like,
I'm laughing because I'm remembering. I think it's season 3. Whenever him and the president first go at it, and he's just like, "Oh," and he's sitting there, and he's making fun of like the president or something, and like he doesn't know that he's listening. He's just like, "Oh yeah," he just orders drone strikes.
oh
Whenever
yeah, when they were playing Minecraft at
yeah,
home,
yeah, and he's just like whenever his ego is like being disrespected or something, he just orders mine like mine
drone
strikes,
strikes.
drone strikes, thank you. And then like
Yeah.
later on, like his like when he's talking to like his cabinet and stuff, they're just like, should we drone strike them? He's like, no, that would prove them right. So, but yeah, I sorry that just came to my head, but no, like, but you're saying that no, you don't think that the president would be an embodiment of Rick if Rick decided to be a president.
Yeah, I think there's.
You think he'd be more free spirit?
Yeah.
Wait, do you think he would be more so like whenever he got with Unity? How he was just bored? Like she was literally
Yeah. I think it would be more like that.
like he would just like control the world, be like, all right, I'm bored with this. Like literally
Yeah.
like, just make everybody do things that just for his own appeasement and then just be
Yeah.
like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. After a while, he'd get tired of it and want to do something else.
Okay. Now what about the Go-Gotron episode?
It was so stupid, but it was so funny.
Hothead Rick.
Like they turned it into into like the mafia.
It was literally, yeah, it's like they had all the different characters there, and like you said, they turned it into the mafia, right? Like they had the Don, they had what was it, Short Rick? I forgot the Short Rick one or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, whatever his name was, and but yeah, they were sitting there talking to each other, and it was silly, man. It was silly, but it made me want to ask, man, is there any kind of giant Zord or bot or anything like that, man, that you would want to be in, like you could control?
Bro, I used to have the huge Voltron, like the 2 foot tall Voltron, where the lion bots you could open the top and put the figure in it and everything.
Okay, a
The
Voltron. Okay.
pilots, yeah. So I used to have that huge Voltron when I was a kid, and then as a grow up, your toys get lost or whatever. But then I I went out and found it again, like
Yeah.
years later on like eBay or something, and bought it again.
Oh,
And then of course that
nice.
one disappeared again.
Okay. Yeah, for me, man, it's like when they were doing all the Go-Gotron stuff, it was not so Voltron's a good one, right? I didn't really grow up on Voltron, so I'm not like I know what it is. I'm just not like extremely familiar with it. For me, it was the Power Rangers, man, like the
Yeah.
Megazord, like when they would all get together and they would have all the different type of like dinosaur themed like robots and stuff, and they would create the Megazord, and they would have the swords and be able to fight all these giant things, which was pretty much like again with Voltron and all these other shows, right, that kind of go in there and like just throw them into the worlds, and they're just giant creatures, right? And then
Yeah.
the thing that was funny to me was, did you watch the after credits like little scene?
Yeah.
It was like these giant, and they're like, yeah, we have the cure for AIDS, are you sure they're going to be able to understand us? And they get there and they're
Yep.
like 10 times the size of humans and are like trying to talk to them, and they can't understand them until like they're just like blowing shit up or whatever, and then
Yeah.
they're getting shot at, and they're like, why is
Yeah.
this happening? So, anyways, man, but yeah, no, great episode. The Go Go Trunks. I'm glad they did it, and again, I think you and I talked about it. I think a few episodes before this one is like the intro scenes, right? That was one of the intro scenes.
Yeah.
So it's I know they don't always cover all of them, obviously,
Yeah.
but just like it's like those few ones, man, where I'm just like, yes, I'm glad they gave us a glimpse into the season, and then they actually did it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I just want to. I hope they do. The Vindicators 4 or 5, right? I just want to see what happens to Noob, man. Like I hope they make
Oh
an
yeah,
episode.
because in the opening credits, he's like laying on the floor dying or whatever.
Yeah, and he's trying to resuscitate him, right? So
Yeah.
I hope they do that again. I think there's only 2 more episodes left in the season,
Yeah.
correct?
10, right?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think last time I checked, it was this one, and then they have 2 more. So the next episode, and then which I think the next episode, Jerry and Beth, I saw like a preview of it or something like that. They like leave the kids alone, so they're just there with Rick.
Hmm.
So I don't know how that's
Is
gonna
there gonna
kind
be
of.
another party where they freeze time again?
Or no, I think it's the whole family, and they leave Rick alone.
Oh.
So yeah, I think that's what it is. I have to go back and check the preview, but I think the preview is like they all got in the car and they're like, "All right, we're out here. We're gonna go on a family vacation," and then like Rick's just there. So it's like
Yeah.
maybe they'll throw another party. It's interesting to see because an episode just with Rick by himself, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think we've seen that. I think the only thing that we've probably came close to that was like the Pickle Rick
Yeah.
episode,
Yeah.
right? But
Pickle
even then,
Rick.
like he was still in the beginning with the family, and then at the end, kind of with the family, and they kind of
Yeah.
just kind of talked it out and everything like that. So.
I saw I was driving a couple days ago and the car in front of me had a Tiny Rick sticker on their window. And it was just like the hair in his hands doing the, the rock sign.
The
You couldn't
Rock.
see his face. You could see and it said Tiny Rick above it.
That is awesome, man. I like Tiny Rick. That was a great episode too. Again,
Yeah.
he had like he was like like the songs he
All
was
the
making. He's like,
inner
let me
turmoil
out.
and everything.
He's like, let me out. I am not. He's like, I am not afraid, or I am very afraid, or I'm scared, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He was trying to like come out and tell people or whatever. But yeah, no, man, Rick and Morty. Um, I have actually seen quite a few things, man, this past week. So,
Oh, for real.
yeah, so I saw Black Widow,
What'd you
right?
think? What'd you think of Black Widow?
I liked it. I liked it, right? I think you and I
Better than Thor 2?
better than Thor 2. You and I talked about it. We did joke about that, man. So better than
Yeah.
Thor 2 for sure. I like the Red Guardian was fantastic. I can't remember her name, and I'm terrible with names, so I'm sorry for people who are listening. They're just like, can this guy remember a fucking name? I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
not always, but Natasha's sister, right?
Yeah.
She was awesome. Like comedic timing was amazing. Like she was great. Red
Every
Guardian
time
was great.
she talked about her hero pose,
Oh my god, I
then
died.
she actually tried it and she's like, this is stupid.
This is gross. This is gross. So, that was funny, man. That was cool. There was again just sometimes there's just like I didn't really like the main villain. I
Yeah.
thought they could have chose a better villain. Taskmaster's character, based on what he is kind of in the comics and what you've kind of shared with me, a little disappointed. Just kind of how
Yeah.
that rolled out. It made sense within the story. Again, spoilers for everybody, right? Like it was the daughter of the person
Yeah,
who was like
they
the head
fit
of.
it for that story specifically, but in
Mhm.
the grand scheme of things, that's not where Taskmaster actually came from.
Yeah, and so it's a little disappointing to kind of see that character. I wanted more. I would have loved for that character to be the main villain, but it was just like some old guy that beat the shit out of women and was just like a terrible human being. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he was just
Yep.
like I get it, right? And it was almost kind of like um, kind of like a person that just like behind the scenes. I don't know. Sometimes I like a mastermind like that. Sometimes I like a mastermind that's just like they're not going to be the person that's going to be able to fight Batman hand to hand,
Yeah.
right? Or Superman or fucking Steve Rogers or something like that, right? Like there's okay, like there's some characters that are cool like that, but it's just sometimes, man, it doesn't play with the story, especially if it's like large like things like explosions and just a lot of things going
Yeah.
on and everything, man. So it was okay. In my opinion, if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it like a 6 or 7. It was solid. Out of 10, if I was out of 10, like 6, 7, it was a solid. Again, like Natasha's character, like Red Guardian's character, he was hilarious. The mom was pretty funny too. And it was trippy, man. Whenever they made the pig like stop breathing and shit, and he fucking fell over, I was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck, man, that's fucking hardcore right there."
Yeah,
But
like poor damn pig.
yeah, not babe, but I was like, or bacon, whatever we'll call him, bacon. Why
Right.
not? And so it was interesting, man. But it was solid. It was entertaining. I would definitely recommend if you're a fan of the Marvel universe. And I know for you told me like there's a tie-in at the and the after credits or in the mid credit scene. There's a
Yeah.
tie-in within the show that's kind of cool and stuff. So I have to go back and watch
Falcon and
Falcon
Winter
and
Soldier.
Winter Soldier to kind of get the reference and stuff. But it was solid, man. And then Snake Eyes, you haven't seen it, right?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so I won't spoil it too much. I just know that they deviated a little bit from the show, or from the
Yeah.
not from the show, but like from his origin stories, from what I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
So that was a little different, but obviously, like with the like and I'm gonna say I'm kind of quoting articles and stuff, but like they have a hunk, man. They have somebody who's good looking who portrays Snake Eyes, right? Like they're not gonna
Yeah.
hide his face the entire movie. Like he's a good looking guy, man. They want to make sure that he's like on the screen and he's portrayed as him, right? So which I get, but I was just like, whatever. Storm was it Storm Shadow? That's his.
Mm.
That's the other guy. He was awesome. He
Yeah.
was he was awesome. I can't wait to see more of him in the future,
Yeah.
especially within the series. Obviously, there's supposed to be. I don't know if there's supposed to be a sequel, but they left it up
Well, I
to be a
think
sequel.
the idea behind Snake Eyes was the same idea behind the standalone Bumblebee movie. So it's going to reboot the entire universe.
Oh, cool, 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 cool. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because it's a lot of influences, man. Like
Yeah.
there's some major players. Like they definitely talk about GI Joe. They definitely talk about what's the evil organization?
Cobra.
Cobra. Thank you. Yeah. So it's like again, I'm telling you, I'm terrible with names,
So
man. But
wasn't Baroness was in it, wasn't she?
yep, she was.
Was Destro in it?
Who was Destro? I don't think Destro was in it. No.
So that's weird that they would have Baroness without Destro because they're usually together.
Let's see. I'm trying to pull up the handy dandy Google here. No, he wasn't there. He wasn't there. I'm looking
Huh.
at the character. Again, he could have been there. It's guy with a Scottish accent,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Yep.
No, there was no characters like that. And again, it was cool. Like again, not to spoil it too much. Like it was really awesome. Like I love the like kind of like like not the mythos, but like the like the kind of like the story, right? The mythos. Thank
Yeah.
you. Like that,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the mythos of the story. I really like that of it, and kind of how they kind of portrayed it. And again, it's kind of cool. And I thought it was ironic that like it came out the same weekend that like the Olympics kind of started. And so like the backdrop of Tokyo was very huge in the film. So you get to see like the city and just kind of them traveling within it and stuff, which was the city, and then of course the country of Japan, which was awesome, man. It was beautiful the way they portrayed it.
Yeah.
But then it got a little mythical towards the end, a little too much, where they started adding almost like magic to it,
Yeah.
and I wasn't a fan of that, man. Like I was just like, it could have did without that. But besides that, the pacing was good. The action scenes were pretty good. They could be a little clunky sometimes, but for the most part, man, like the beginning of the film was fucking awesome, and then it just kind of took a weird turn. It didn't really make the movie worse, like it didn't, but it was definitely like a turn where you're just kind of like, okay, I get it. Like I like I get why they're doing that and stuff, but at the
Yeah.
same time, like it could have did without it, So
Yeah.
similar again, and what I'm saying is like I'm thinking for myself, it's like just like the first Batman with Christopher Nolan, like kind of that's the expectation with origin stories sometimes for
Yeah.
me. And it's like if magic's not really involved, and I just don't associate too much like GI Joes with magic or any kind of like the Avengers, man. They're not like necessarily. Of course, there's some things that are probably unrealistic a little bit, but for the most part, it's like it's kind of like things that could happen every day almost in a certain sense. So they kind of took it in a different direction, man, which I wasn't like I said, a huge fan of. But I mean, it's still a good movie. I would recommend. And then I saw again another movie called The Green Knight.
Oh yeah. I've never like I saw the title, but I haven't really seen like any of the trailers or anything for it. So I don't even know what it's about.
Yeah, the trailer is awesome. If you get a chance, but that's the only bad thing sometimes is like trailers make movies seem better than what they are sometimes. Not
Yeah.
saying that it wasn't a good movie. Visually, it is stunning. It is beautiful, beautiful. I kind of watched this little thing where the director kind of talks about how he shot the film, how he kind of
Yeah.
created up with certain scenes and stuff, and how he took a lot of influences from other directors, and you can kind of see it stylistically within his film. films, right? Or films, and then again this film for sure.
Yeah.
But it's kind of what the plot is. It's like there's I think it's the nephew of King Arthur. So it's like King Arthur and in the round table, and his nephew kind of wants to prove himself, but he's kind of a
Hmm.
hothead within the story of the King Arthur storyline. And there's a Green Knight, which was kind of created like this Earth Knight or something, right? He's almost like an Earth, planet type of, you know, um, he's like made out of all wood. He's like green. When he touches things, like things grow and stuff. So it's kind of it's an interesting kind of take on that. And I know it's kind of based off like an old like story that it doesn't have it like a necessarily like author or anything like that. And it's again probably thousands of years old, and so they
Yeah.
kind of retell the story. But there's just like a lot of it's just interesting take, man. Again, the visuals are beautiful, and then I'm kind of deviating here, but kind of going back. But like the story is like him. So the giant comes up and tells him like, hey man, you can strike me, um but he's like, you can strike me any way you want to. You can be like, you can hit me as hard as you want, or you can barely touch me. It's up to you. But I get the same kind of hit on you a year from now. And so the kid comes in, chops off his head. Again, this is in the trailer, so you can see this. This is not a spoiler. Chops off the guy's head. The guy like rises up, and like everybody's celebrating, like the nephew, and then the guy like rises up, picks his head up, and is like, all right, I'll see you in a year, and then fucking dips. And and so like now the son or the nephew, now he has to like wait a year to go see this person and journey to go see him, and he has to go
Yeah.
see him, or like some kind of doom's going to foretell him, right? But if not, then if he can go back, and if he goes back and he takes the hit, then he's supposed to be granted wish, like a bunch of riches and stuff, right? So it's about him kind of, it fast forwards a year almost immediately. So he cuts off his head, some things happen real quick, and then like it fast forwards a year, and then it kind of follows him on his journey to go meet the Green Knight, and face him on this, like face him on like to kind of comply with like the agreement that they had within the battle.
Yeah.
So again, interesting film, man. A little weird, but may not be for everybody, but it was definitely like stylistically, one of the best films of the year in my opinion. Just regards, just like the way that it looks. Story, like I
Yeah.
said, could be hit or miss or something for some people, but it was a cool film, man. I don't know if I would recommend you paying to go see it in theater, but if it was on television, you want to see kind of like an artsy film, highly recommend, man. It's a
That's
pretty cool
cool.
film. But yeah, that's kind of what I did, man. And then besides that, watching the Olympics, man. I don't know if you have gotten a chance to watch anything. I think you mentioned you watched maybe some baseball or something like that.
Yeah, I watched like maybe an inning and a half of Japan versus USA baseball because Tanaka was pitching. So
Nice.
literally all I watched, and they end up losing that game. But they're still playing in the gold. I think Saturday because they beat Korea.
Oh, cool.
So I think this. I'm not sure if it's Saturday. Sometime this weekend, I think they play for the gold. So
USA plays for the gold.
yeah.
Who's on the USA baseball team?
So like, there's a few of ex MLBers, Todd Frazier.
Oh, no
Um,
way. So they don't
those.
go they don't go to the opposite. Like back in the day, what it was is like NBA. I'm thinking of like basketball, for example,
Well, yeah.
like
So the NBA
hockey.
they take a break. Like if the Olympics are going on during the season, they'll take a break to send their players from the NBA.
Yeah.
Baseball won't do that. Baseball's not going to be like have 2 weeks off, send some of the players, everyone gets 2 weeks. Nah, baseball's not going to do that.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's usually like players that aren't signed to teams currently, or there's probably like some college players that go.
Yeah, that was another thing too. I was going to ask if college players goes, because again, the NBA, like, or basketball in the Olympics previously was like, and even in hockey, right? Hockey, it was just college kids that would
Yeah,
go play, and then
until the
eventually,
dream team.
pretty much, and they were like, hey, we're gonna invite some of the pros. So I didn't know if baseball was the same way,
Nah,
like,
baseball doesn't
uh,
do that.
well, I mean, like in the sense of like if they got college players, and if they got, like you said, just so. But I
Yeah,
mean,
so
it's
it's
good to
ex
know,
MLBers and probably college players.
which is pretty cool. Like that, it's cool that I mean, it's America's pastime, right? It's one of those sports that so it's like similar to basketball, where we should just be dominating every year, which I'm not sure if we do or don't.
Yeah, I'm not. Is there basketball in this Olympics?
There is, yeah. There's
I
a
don't
few.
think
There's a few
I
NBA
don't
like
think USA has done anything for basketball in the Olympics this year, have they?
you say that, but they actually play for gold this Saturday.
Really?
Yeah,
But none of the stars are there. Like There's no like LeBrons or.
I mean, they have Kevin Durant.
KD's playing.
Yeah, KD, Dame Lillard. Um, I think what's his Draymond Green. They got some. They got some
I
names.
guess because I just haven't been
I
paying
know you
any
don't.
attention to the Olympics. I'm like,
Yeah, I know
football
you're.
starts tonight. I've been watching baseball.
Yeah.
That's all I'm concerned about as far as sports go.
Yeah, I was like, and I know you're not like a huge follower of basketball, right? Like, I know
Yeah,
that's
I'm
not
not. I
really
don't
like,
even really watch basketball, so that's why I
yeah,
didn't even know. Like,
yeah,
for some reason, I was thinking that basketball was in the Winter Olympics. For some reason, I don't know,
yeah. I mean, you're good, man.
because it's an
Again,
indoor sport. Whatever, you can play it any
yeah.
time of the year.
No, I get you, man. No, for me, I would say I'm a fan. Like, I don't. I'm not saying I know people's names, right? Like, I'm not gonna tell you like, oh yeah, I like this track star or something like that, or this
Yeah,
gymnast or anything. Obviously, some of these athletes get publicized more than others. So of course, like Simone Biles, why like she's somebody who's like well known within the gymnast world, right? And like
yeah.
even in just in regular world. So, but I'm a fan of the Olympics, man. I like watching all the different type of sports. Me personally, my favorite is it used to be like judo used to be my favorite one, or like taekwondo. Now it's probably like weightlifting. Now that I've started weightlifting a little bit more often,
Yeah.
like Olympic weightlifting and stuff is kind of cool. Track and field is always awesome to see, like 100, 200. Once they start getting into like marathons, like 26 miles or like mile runs, it gets a little boring for me. It's similar to like NASCAR sometimes. Not to say that NASCAR isn't entertaining, but it's just going in circles for a few times. I'm like, I might change it if I'm watching it on TV or something, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, track and field, weightlifting for sure. Gymnastics is pretty cool. Basketball, swimming was pretty entertaining, man. I thought that was kind of cool to watch. And then Greco wrestling. I like wrestling as well. So I used to do some grappling back in the day, man. So those are some of the sports that definitely that I kind of pay attention to right now, or just seeing what's on. Of course, basketball too. I haven't watched a basketball game yet, but I'll probably try to watch them play for the gold medal this weekend if I get a
Who are they
chance.
playing?
That is a good question. I'm not sure, man. I know they just beat Australia. That was the game that they played last night.
Oh, okay.
And they beat them. And they were actually, I think they were actually behind, and then they went on like a 48-14 run or something like that. So they came back and just like smoked them pretty bad. So, but my question for you is, if you had to win a gold medal, if you were going to win a gold medal in any sport that's in the Olympics right now, which sport do you think you would win a gold medal in, man? It like just like, and I'm just throwing it out there.
I don't know. Is there one for sleeping?
I don't think there is one for sleeping, but
Shit, I don't know. Like I haven't played sports in so long. Like I played baseball growing up, so
but in this fictional like hypothetical, you're a top flight athlete and you can get a gold medal in any sport, man. Which gold medal would you want to pursue?
I mean, I would probably want to be on the baseball team.
Okay, cool, man.
Yeah, because
Win
I'm
a gold medal
like
in the
I like
baseball
being,
team?
the whole, I was in the army, so I'm everything I do is like team oriented stuff like that.
Of course. Of course. See, me being selfish, I'd be like, I'll probably do pole vault or some shit. No, I'm kidding, man. For me, I would love to do like weightlifting. That'd be pretty cool. Or high jump. I think the high jump or like the 100-meter run or something like that would be pretty
Yeah,
cool to win a gold medal in. But if I had to choose, like somebody's like, you have to pick one of them, it'd probably be like the 400-meter run or something like that. That would be the one that I would go for. I'm slow as shit. I think the fastest I've ran a 400 meters is probably like a minute and a half. While some of these world record people are doing it like in 50 seconds, like high 40 seconds, low 50 seconds. I'm a whole like 30 to 40 seconds slower than all these people.
yeah. I don't know. I guess like playing baseball growing up, I got used to running like short distances. You run
For
from base
sure.
to base. It's like 90 feet.
Hmm.
So you don't have to you don't have to run for long distance in baseball.
No, true, man. It's 90. Is it 90 feet for the diamond, right?
Yeah,
Or something like that
something like that.
to run the entire way. Okay, now again, you kind of
Well, it's
answered
like
the.
between bases, each base.
Gotcha. I know you kind of answered the question already. Now, what non-traditional sport do you think you could win a gold medal in? Are you gonna go with sleeping? Like, if you can win a gold medal in anything, what do you think you'd win a gold medal? Like, just being yourself now.
I don't know. They should have video games in the Olympics. Maybe
esports. Let's go.
Yeah.
You're gonna play some video games.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna play, man? Like, what are you gonna play for gold for the USA? You're representing the country, man. USA. People chanting in the background. What game is it? And who do you think you're better in that game than who do you think you're better at in that game? I can't talk right now.
Shoot, I don't know, because I suck at Call of Duty. I get marked when we play Call of Duty.
It's same here, man. Same here. I get yelled at by all my friends. Whoever I play with, man, they're just all like, I don't know why they play with me. I honestly don't know, but they continue to invite me to games, and I'm just like, this, man. Why are you yelling at me? You know that I suck at this.
Yeah, usually when it's me, you, Justin, and Vic, it's usually Vic carrying the team, and the rest of us are like,
what are we doing here? Just chickens with our heads cut off. It's like, hey, man, you're running into the wall. You have to turn around. Oh, shit, I thought I was opening the door.
That's a hard one because I'm not a big fan of first-person shooters. Like, I'll play them, but I'm not a huge fan of them. I'm more into like the story-driven games. So.
For sure.
I don't know.
But what if it was like, hey, you have to beat this game in a certain amount of time? Do you think you could do it?
Yeah, like I could try speed runs. Like people do speed runs on games. I could try.
Okay, speed runs. For me, this is gonna sound weird, man. Watermelon eating contest.
That'd be awesome.
I would 100% be like, bring it on. I don't give a shit who it is. Like, cut me a slice of watermelon. I'm gonna eat this bitch faster than all you guys. Let's go. That's where I'm going with. That's my non-traditional Olympic sport, man. Watermelon eating. Either speed or how much, fuck it, I don't care. Like I'm throwing this shit up, or I'm gonna eat this shit faster than anybody. Call me Joey Jaws, man. Joey Chestnut, right? Yeah, let's go, man. I'm down for this. So
unless he stepped up to the podium, then you gotta run. You just gotta give up. Like I'm out.
No, man, I'm winning silver. I don't care. I'm winning silver. I don't give a shit. He can win, but I'm let him get the gold. USA back and forth, gold and silver. Let's hands down. Let's do it. Joe, if you're listening to this podcast, which you probably aren't, but if you can get this to him, let's do it, man. Let's gold and silver. Bring eating into the mix. Fuck it. Let's go. I'm down, man. But anyways, changing the subject here, man. There's a movie that is coming out tonight. Today is Thursday, August 5th, man. There's a movie coming out tonight at midnight. Do you know what movie it is, Derek?
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, man. Before we get into this Suicide Squad, I know you told me you were such a huge fan of the first one, man. Tell me why you love the first one. I'm kidding. I don't think anybody liked the first one.
The first one was trash.
It was so bad. So bad. I would say there are probably some characters that I liked a lot, like Harley Quinn, obviously. Is it Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn? Like, I think she plays a really good Harley Quinn. I have some friends that are huge Harley Quinn fans, like just within like the comic book realm, and like they're not a huge fan of her iteration of her, but I like her as Harley Quinn. I think she's awesome. And then Will Smith's Deadshot, I thought he was awesome, man. Like his character was pretty cool. Those two characters were awesome. And then what is her name? Oh my gosh. I'm going to just, again, I told you guys, I'm fucking terrible at names. My bad. Who's the cast? I know the cast. Oh, here we go. And again, they don't show me the fucking cast. Come on now. Oh, Viola Davis. Viola Davis is pretty cool too. She's the one who kind of coordinates everybody.
Oh, she's like the one that brings everybody together. Yeah.
Yes,
Viola. And she's in this one too again, isn't she?
She is.
So her, the ex like Ranger, whatever Army Ranger.
Okay, so I don't know if it's him
and
or
then
not.
Harley Quinn are the only ones that are back from the original one, right?
Is he back? Like, is he the one who like came back? Like he plays the same character in that first film?
Pretty sure it's the same character.
I didn't know if he played somebody different or not.
I'm pretty sure it's the same character.
Like, again, he looks super familiar. He sounds like the guy from the first film, but
yeah, Captain. Is it Flag? Is it Captain Flag or something?
Oh like yeah, I guess his name is Rick Flag. Yeah. See, had no idea.
Or Major? Is it Major? Is that what his rank was?
Man, honestly, I can't remember. I could look it up right now. Oh no, it's actually talking about the actual actor. Okay, I don't know. Anyways, I can look that shit up later, man. But yeah, no, Suicide Squad drops tonight, man.
And I heard it got a high score on Rotten Tomatoes. I heard it was 100%, right?
Man, here we go, Derek. You make me do this shit again. Here we go. So IMDb gives it an 8, Metacritic 77, Rotten Tomatoes 96%.
Yeah, so that's pretty high for Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes is high, man. Now again, sometimes I feel like they pad the reviews. Sometimes like they pad them a little much and they add too much to it. But so like I think sometimes like people will give it bad reviews before it comes out, or they'll give it good reviews before out. I know they've been trying to kind of stop that. But
did you see Space Jam's Rotten Tomatoes score?
I did not, man. How bad was it?
27.
Are you kidding? Ooh.
Yikes. Black Widow got an 80%. That's good.
Again, it was solid. But yeah, no, Space Jam, man, I have my I don't know. I have my opinions on it, man. I'm just not gonna touch it. Like, I love the original. Original was fun. Like, yeah, it's bad acting. Like, come on now, they're basketball players. Like, that doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna translate into being great actors or whatever. But like, I still like the first one better, man. The second one was cool. I like the concept. I like the characters. I liked, what it kind of presented it, like how it was presented. But it could have been better without. Like, if LeBron wasn't in it, it would have been a great film.
Really? I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I think without LeBron, it still would have been a really good film.
Yeah,
like it could have been. They could have made up the basketball character. I get it; it's him, so they have to like try to, they're promoting him and stuff. Like he's the whole point behind it. But like it was a good movie without him, in my opinion. Or could have been a good movie without. But yeah, Suicide Squad.
So Suicide Squad, it drops at midnight because I had read something that they're gonna release it early.
Are they? Please don't tell me.
I read something, but then someone commented and was like, "No, just a trailer. Like a new trailer is going to release today. Like, why would you release a new trailer the day before the movie? That doesn't make sense."
Man, if it comes out tonight, I am watching it tonight.
Like, I heard it like 5 p.m. Eastern.
Dude, don't even play with me.
So it's either going to be the movie or a new trailer, which would be dumb. Like, why would you show a new trailer the day before you show the movie? That's stupid.
It's like, yeah, guys, we're just gonna drop this out so that everybody can watch it. Oh no, it's a trailer. Fuck you guys.
Speaking of trailers, I just read that they are not going to make a trailer for the new Spider-Man.
Wait, what?
No trailer at all. Like
for No Way Home?
Movie, for No Way Home. No trailers. So nothing gets spoiled. Like when you go to the movie, it's fresh. Like you don't know anything.
I am kind of a fan of that.
I'm for it. I'm good with it. Like it's excited. I love Spider-Man. Like of all the superhero characters, Spider-Man's my guy.
I know Spider-Man's your dude.
Like as much as I want to see what's going to happen in this Spider-Man, like I'll wait. Mm-hmm. It's only a few more months. Fuck it.
Well, I mean, did you read any comments where people mad about it by any chance that you know of? Because like,
no, I didn't see anybody really complaining about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that, man. Like, I trust
because
like,
with
Marvel.
as much like rumors and stuff that are swirling around, like who's going to be in it? Is Tobey Maguire in it? Is Andrew Garfield in it?
Yeah.
You don't like anything you show could spoil that.
True.
And then and even he's got like Andrew Garfield said he's not in it. Like he said the studio never called him. Nobody ever told him anything about it. So he's denied and denied and denied. So who knows?
Yeah.
And they said that the Jamie Foxx's Electro isn't the same Electro that was in Amazing Spider-Man 2 because he died. Electro died. So this is a different version of Electro. He's not going to be blue. So
maybe he'll be like closer similar to the comics or like the TV show.
As long as he doesn't have like that electric bolt around his head.
No, God, no.
So yeah, I mean, that just makes me more excited for the movie to come out.
Oh man, me too. I think that the fact that like I know you have Tom Holland as like your favorite person in portraying Spider-Man so far. For me, Tobey Maguire, right? Like Tobey Maguire, I think he plays like he was a really good. Again, we won't talk about the third one, so bad. But I think that him just kind of coming back, man, and them kind of doing the multiverse thing, it's just it's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm so ready for it, man.
And maybe they might, without showing not having a trailer to go off of or anything to go off of, they might even introduce Miles Morales. You know how the theater would flip out if Miles Morales showed up in this Spider-Man movie? Like people would lose
Oh,
their minds.
dude, I would lose my fucking mind. Holy shit.
Like when they showed remember when they did the announcement trailer or the announcement thing presentation for PS5
Yeah.
and they showed the Miles Morales trailer for that?
Yep.
Like I was screaming. I was like sitting in my living room screaming. Like
I
I
remember.
was so hyped.
I think me and you were like texting
Yeah,
each
we were
other,
texting
and
back
you
and
were like,
forth.
"Oh!" You were so excited, man. I didn't know you were screaming in your living room, but that makes it
Yeah, I
that much
was.
better.
that animated Spider-Man that came out, the end of the Spider-Verse was
Yeah.
awesome. Like I loved it.
Hmm.
I could watch it over and over again, and I get tired of it.
Dude, I've probably seen it like 4 or 5 times, and I'll never. And one of my favorite scenes, still to this day, man. And it was like I watched it on my birthday. I went to the movie theater, down in like I think it was off like 14th or 34th or something like that, right? I think there's an AMC that's out there,
Yeah,
or Cinemark, one of the two. But I remember going like downtown Manhattan, and we was like, went to the movie theaters and was watching it, and it was the part where like he meets like the Peter Parker who came from the other
the
universe,
other Peter B. Parker.
Peter B. Parker, and they're like going through the train and they're being chased by the police and stuff, and they finally fall down, and like
Oh,
they're
he's dragging him behind him, and he's like
he's
swinging him
yeah,
around
yeah, he's dragging
into
him
the
around.
cemetery at the church.
Yeah, and finally they like the train stops and they fall down on the ground, and like people are like walking over them, and then like Miles Morales is all like, "Thanks, New York," and literally the entire theater just fucking exploded, man. They were just dying laughing because it's like, yeah, it's true. If you
That's
live in
what
New
would
York,
happen. Like someone
motherfuckers
falls in front of you, you're just gonna walk around him
just
or over
gonna
him or whatever.
exactly. Nobody's gonna help that person, right? So yeah, no, man. I just remember that scene from that film, and it just like stuck with me. But yeah, man, I've seen it like 4 or 5 times. I love that movie. It's a great film. Visually, just story, like, oh man, it's just so fucking good. But yeah, if they introduce Miles Morales in like that world, oh my god, I don't know who even would play him, but shit, like, well, they referenced him. They referenced him, right? In the first film, yeah, in the first film
In the
with
first,
Ultra. So remember Donald Glover's in the film,
yeah.
and like he's like buying something from the trunk or something, or like something like that. I think that's his dad. Like that's Miles's dad.
Oh,
Yeah, because I think like whenever they do like analysis, like that's supposed to be Miles's dad.
but Miles's dad is a cop,
In that yes, but I believe. Hold on, it's something tied in. I remember somebody pulled like an Easter egg or something like that.
or maybe it's his uncle because his uncle becomes um who was it? Who's his uncle?
Oh yeah. His uncle. Let's see. This because it's it. Oh, Aaron. Remember his uncle was Aaron. Uncle
Yeah, Uncle
Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to see, man. Let's see. Lots of...
His name is Aaron Davis in the Spider-Man movie.
Oh, is he? Oh. And so that's
It is his uncle. That's his uncle.
that's his uncle. Yep. That's his
Yeah.
uncle. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so that was
Like
so
why
that
didn't I never think of that until I
I don't remember. I don't remember what I saw or like whatever, but there was like Easter eggs people were calling out from the film. But yeah, no, he was his uncle Aaron, in the movie in Homecoming. Um,
so maybe he'll be in it too.
I
As his
mean,
character. What's his character?
the Prowler, right? Night
Yeah,
Prowler,
the Prowler or something like that. Yeah.
Prowler, yeah. But yeah, he'll be in the like if he's in the movie like Miles Morales makes it, man, like I'm losing my shit. Which, speaking of like Hispanic characters that I've been wanting to hopefully eventually
Yeah,
see in
he's
film,
the Prowler.
Prowler, right? But speaking of Hispanic characters, um, I don't know if you know this, but there's a character in the DC universe called the Blue Beetle. He is, I believe, one iteration of him is his character is from El Paso, and his name is Jaime Reyes. The character who plays like one of the characters that's in the Cobra Kai series, he's gonna play the Blue Beetle, or I think they just pinned him as one of the characters um, in Blue Beetle. So
Oh,
I'm
for
pretty
real?
excited for that. Yeah, man. So I'm like, so he was Miguel in in Cobra Kai, but yeah, Miguel in Cobra Kai is going to be the Blue Beetle, man. I'm super pumped about it. I'm like, cool, finally a Hispanic, like, I'm just super excited, man. Just as like
Right.
as a Hispanic man, seeing a Hispanic character like play or comic book character, superhero or whatever, kind of be portrayed on television, man. I'm super hyped about it, man. So I hope they don't do it. I hope they do it justice. I hope it is. I hope it is not bad. I'm already have high hopes. And again, the kid's a good actor, man. So I think he's going to be great for that role. I like to see where they kind of go from that. But kind of going back to Spider-Man, that's awesome that they're not showing the trailer. I'm a huge fan of that. I think they should do that more often with more
Yeah.
films. For me personally, I would wait for the reviews afterwards. So like let some people watch it or go watch it myself and then be like, man, this is trash. I'll spend my money. Because how many times have you like spent your money on stupid shit? Like it doesn't matter. Like if I go pay like $12 and watch a movie and it's terrible, then hey man, fuck it. Like at least it was for the experience and I can talk shit about the film. So but no, man, I'm super excited about that. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that they're going to do that. I hope they stick with that. I hope like the production company or whoever, movie studios doesn't push them.
Well, I guess that came straight from who's the head of Marvel Studios now? Kevin Feige?
Yeah.
Apparently that came straight from him.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shit, if it's him, then I'm rolling with him.
Right. Yeah. That just makes me more excited for this movie to come out. And I think it's December it comes out this year?
Yep. Comes out December, man. So
there's 3 more Marvel movies coming out this year.
It's Spider-Man,
The Eternals, and Shang-Chi.
Oh, no shit, right.
Shang-Chi comes out in September. I think The Eternals is October or November. And in December is Spider-Man.
Woo. So it's just like back to back to back, man.
Yeah.
I remember we used to always wait for the summer blockbusters, but they've been dropping some fucking, just some bangers, man, when it comes to like films, just every, especially leading up to Christmas and stuff, man. So, usually we would get a Star Wars film around Christmas, but again, it looks like not this time, but maybe next year, the year after, or something like that. I know those are in the works right now, man. I know they're gonna make additional ones, but with Spider-Man and everything coming out, man, I'm super excited about that. Super excited about Suicide Squad tomorrow, man. I'm excited to see that. Hopefully you get to watch it so we can discuss it next week.
I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm off tomorrow, so I'll watch it.
Shit, there it is, man. So yeah, definitely check.
And then next week is What If on Disney.
Wait, does that come out
next week on the 11th?
You're fucking lying.
No.
Holy shit! I'm slipping.
Is that next Friday?
I'm slipping on so many things.
Next Wednesday.
Is it next Wednesday?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, so I got something else to watch next Wednesday, so I'm super excited about that. Another thing we can talk about, hopefully.
Yep, definitely.
But man, that's awesome. There's a lot of great things that are coming out. But there's something that I kind of want to talk about, man, if that's okay, if I take the floor here.
Yeah.
There was a movie that I watched, this week, and it was yesterday. It's a classic movie that came out in 1985. The Goonies, man.
I love The Goonies.
The Goonies is such a good film. Just to kind of touch on it, right? It was directed by Richard Donner. He was born in the Bronx, New York, and he filmed. It seemed like he was a fan of the series. He filmed multiple series, or I guess multiple film series. Do you know which of the films that he directed?
No, I don't.
Okay, so there's a character in the Goonies who at one point rips his shirt off and has a T-shirt. The character's name is Sloth. Do you remember what T-shirt Sloth was wearing?
Superman.
He was wearing Superman. Richard Donner directed the first Superman film with Christopher Reeves.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so again, it's a nice little Easter egg, man. A nice little
connection they put in there.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I rewatched the film and it's kind of doing a little research on this. But yeah, man. So the first Superman film had Christopher Reeves, Marlon Brando, and Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman was Lex Luthor, man. So
yeah.
Just some little tidbits here. During this time, there were some really popular films that kind of, just kind of, I'm gonna go down the list real quick with Richard Donner, the movies that he came out with. He did film a few episodes of like The Twilight Zone, Gilligan Island. He directed The Omen. I don't know if you remember that film, kind of growing up, right? It was supposed to be like a very scary film. So he did The Omen. He did Superman 2, but he only completed about 80% of it, and then he was fired mid-production. So like the film that you see isn't necessarily, it's part of his film, but it is also a part of his film. So
Yeah.
similar to like a Zack Snyder situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Directed the Goonies, directed Scrooged. If you remember the Bill Murray Scrooge film,
Yeah. Yep.
he directed that. Directed the Lethal Weapon series.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. So again, the guy has a nice lineup. So he did Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, right? Too old for this shit. Looks like he was kind of like a producer for Harry Potter, Bicentennial Man, Home Alone 1 and 2,
So
and
he's done a lot.
yeah, so he's done a lot, man. So he had a lot of good films there, and also some other popular films in '85 that came out the same year. Where, and I believe these are, well, I guess I didn't write them down um, as kind of like how, like what was their money that they made, but I just kind of wrote down some other films that came out in '85. So The Breakfast Club, your favorite film that was based on your life. So that was no, The Breakfast Club came out in '85. Teen Wolf. I don't know if you remember the Teen Wolf guy.
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox. Clue. Weird Science. I don't know if you
Weird
remember.
Science is a good one too.
Yeah, Weird Science. Commando. Day of the Dead. You ever seen a movie called The Last Dragon?
Is that with?
It's not Bruce Lee, but it's Bruce Leroy. It's kind of like a guy who like lives in New York or whatever, and he has like, it's a cool film that's it's kind of like a real strong good like black film,
Yeah.
And it was like this character who was Bruce Leroy. He had this like, he was a great fighter who loved like martial arts and everything, and there's some guy in his neighborhood that's causing some trouble, right? And it just kind of get into it, man. It's a good film. For what it is, it's not winning Oscars or anything like that, but it's entertaining. It's not too bad. The Color Purple. Again, this is your childhood favorite film, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That is a good film, though. I don't care what you say, Derek. It's a good film. It's entertaining, man. It was a film I grew up on as a kid. I didn't understand.
Now that I think of like the actor that was Pee Wee Herman, I always think of his character in that movie Blow with Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, I forgot that he was in Blow. That's right. Him, I always associated, because he did some weird shit like on his own life. Like I think that he went to like
he was jerking it in the movie theater.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I just remember as a kid, I was a huge fan of the movies, and then like my cousin, my cousins were just so cynical, man. Like you could never enjoy anything because they'd tell you the real shit about it, and it was just like, oh yeah, you can't use like, you like those movies, you must be a weirdo because he did this or whatever. So
yeah,
but yeah, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Back to the Future, came out that same year.
The first one.
The first one.
Wow.
Beverly Hills Cop came out that year. That's with Eddie Murphy. Rambo: First Blood Part 2, Rocky 4, and then Mad Max Thunderdome. Man, so that year there was a good set of good movies that came out that year, right?
Yeah.
And there's some honorable mentions on here that I didn't write down, but these were the ones that were the most popular at the time. But 1985 was a good year for films, right? And especially the Goonies kind of coming out and being something a little bit different, right? Now, it is technically directed by Richard Donner, but it is based off a story that Steven Spielberg created. So he's not in the film, but it's definitely heavily influenced by him. I don't know. I was trying to find out some more information as to like when he wrote it, like where the story is, if he wrote the story and just kind of had it to the side, published it, or if it was a book or something. But I couldn't find anything that was like that was even like associated with that. So I guess he just kind of wrote the story in a script form, and then somebody kind of else took it and then of course directed it and put it on the film. But he is in the music video, The Goonies Are Good by Cyndi Lauper, in which when watching the film, they show the music video on television that the older brother is watching. Like, I think his name is Braun or something, or
yeah. You know who his older brother is played by, right?
I don't tell me his name. Again, I know I'm terrible.
Oh, here we go.
but I know his name. It's Josh Brolin. Brolin. Yeah. This Josh Brolin is his older brother. But yeah, he's in there. He's like working out, and
but he has the workout thing for his arms.
Yeah, he's like working out with the arm thing, or like the little thing,
the springs or whatever it is.
Yeah, but when he's doing that, she's playing, or I guess they're watching the music video about the film in the film, so it's like a weird little parallel universe. I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg
Like
is
an Inception type thing.
yeah, Steven Spielberg is in that music video. He just makes like a cameo. Like it's really weird. The music video is awful. The song is not that great, but whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in there too. So, but yeah, no. So that's that was kind of like I thought it was kind of cool tidbit that they put that music video or the song right in there. Like when do they ever do that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of rewatching it, man. It's hilarious. There are some great characters. The way that it started, I don't remember it starting that way. It starts with them in a, I guess like in a jail cell somewhere, and one of the bad guys, he like, which is Italian, he's the one who's always singing and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, it's a guard who finds him in the cell hanging because he hung himself.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's fake. And he comes up and he like punches the guard and he like escapes and they're like shooting at the Jeep and stuff, which later, Chunk is like, oh my God, guys, I saw these bullet holes in the back of a car. Like there was holes in them and so whatever. Right. So, so that was kind of one of those things where I was like, man, I don't remember it being this fucking dark or whatever, but it was funny just kind of seeing that there were some odd scenes that I saw in the film. Like for example, the person who played the mom, when she's driving away from them, she's eating saltine crackers. Like, who eats saltine crackers as they're driving away from like in a police chase? Like she's getting chased, bro, and like she's eating fucking saltine crackers. Like no water. Who the fuck?
just try to kill yourself.
I mean, like, maybe that was them showing how hardcore she was. That she was just like not giving a fuck.
Can just not scarf down some saltines on their own.
Yeah, she's like driving away. Police are shooting her car, and she's just like fucking driving, eating saltine crackers. Man, I was like, this is weird. There's another scene where like the girl who has like short hair, again, I don't remember her name, but she has like glasses.
The glasses, yeah.
She's bobbing for crabs. Like she's literally like, if you see it, like she's sitting there, she's like putting her head in the water and coming up with fucking crabs in her mouth or some shit. It was weird. I was just like, what the hell is going on here, man? So anyways, I thought that was kind of funny. And then like there was a scene where Chonk comes over. And like he's sitting at the gate, he's like, guys.
Oh, the truffle shuffle.
The truffle shuffle. He's like, do the truffle shuffle, right? But they have, I don't remember. I guess I don't remember like a maze. What are those?
It's things? Like a contraption. I know the word you're looking for.
Yeah, I know there's a term for it, but yeah, it's like they have a bowling ball that like comes down, and then it inflates a balloon, and then the balloon pops. It's like you sit there and watch this for 5 minutes, where they could have just walked their happy asses down, undid the door, and let him in. And guess what? They have to go back and reset that shit.
All that stuff.
Just to let the fucking kid in. And then, I don't know. I was just like, come on, guys. Like, but I think that's a theme within the entire series. Because obviously, like, that was kind of precursor to later on in the film, as like when they're underground and doing stuff, there's a lot of that stuff kind of going on, right? Booty traps. Or booty traps.
Booty traps,
but it's booby traps. Another part that I thought was fucking hilarious was, it was kind of weird as kids saying this, but the statue of David, right? You knew the statue of David, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's Michelangelo. Again, he's there and he's nude, and I think there's iterations of him with like a leaf on his junk, and then other times where his junk is missing, right? Like his penis is missing. But Chunk is like, he catches it because I guess Data comes through the screen door. And
like
falling, so he catches
the little one they had on the table, yeah.
The little one on the table, and he's like sitting there, and he like falls off. And he's just like, oh no, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to break it. And the penis is broken.
Yeah.
And then Sean Austin's character, right? Mikey, he goes, oh man, that's my mom's favorite part. What? What?
She likes the peen.
Oh my God. I was just like, okay, Dad gives her the business. All right, good for her. So I was just like, that shit threw me off. I was like, okay, that's funny. That's funny. That's in the film. And then later on, whenever Mouth is translating to the I guess like the cleaning lady.
Yeah.
And he's just all like, all right. And he's telling her in Spanish. And it's like, how does he know this shit in Spanish? Like, he's like, marijuana, cocaína, and like, heroína. So he's talking about fucking heroin, coke, marijuana, and speed. And he's like, yeah, put all the drugs in the drawers. Just make sure that this is where we stash them out. And then later on, it's like, don't go up in the attic. There's like sex devices that the dad uses. Where does he learn this shit, man? Like, what? whatever. And then he's also like, if you don't do this, he's like, you're gonna have no food for 2 weeks, and you're gonna sleep with the cockroaches down here or some shit like that, man. Fucking hilarious. But I thought it was interesting that I guess there's something I didn't catch in the first part was like his dad was a curator for a museum, which is why he had all the stuff in the attic. So when they go up there, they're just kind of like messing with the stuff. Do you know where the film takes place?
And is it Maine or is it Oregon?
It's Oregon. You know what the city's called?
No idea.
Astoria.
Oh yeah.
It's called Astoria, man. So for you guys don't know, I used to live in a city, or I guess it would be called a city, right? We consider it Astoria, right? I used to live in a city called Astoria out there in New York. And I guess I didn't realize why they were wanted. Like, you know why the mom and dad or I guess like the mom and the brothers were wanted for? Do you remember?
Wasn't it bank robbery? Wasn't it?
Bank robbery and counterfeiting.
Yeah.
They had like a counterfeit machine because later on, like one of the kids like finds it or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it kind of makes me want to ask the question, man, like, and again, obviously there's a lot of other things that kind of happen in there. Sloth is a fantastic character, right? Like, I know my friend.
Hey, you guys.
I know my friend Victor always quotes him in the Ruth,
yeah, the baby Ruth.
That scene is amazing. It gives him like a fucking baby Ruth, and they like share it. And I like watched it, and it's just like, again, you know how things are, like COVID's a thing now, right? We're not sharing food, but it's like funny to see like Chonk fucking take a bite out of it and like takes it out of his mouth and feeds, that doesn't take it out of his mouth, but he like bites a piece and then breaks off the piece that he like that he bit and then gave it to Sloth. And Sloth's just like super happy and stuff. But so there's that, and also just like, oh fuck, I'm sorry, I'm just going through all the scenes that I remember. Another scene that's fantastic is whenever they catch Chonk and they sit him down and they're just, or Chunk or Chonk, whatever, right? Chonk, and then they like sit him down and they're like, all right, tell us everything. He's just like, oh, when I was little.
Yeah. And he's going through like everything he's ever done.
Literally everything he's ever done in his life, and is spilling the guts, man. Like, he said he said he went to the movie theater, or he like made some fake vomit, went to the movie theater and then pretended to vomit, threw it on the floor, and then everybody in the theater vomited too.
Yeah.
And just like literally, he's like, oh, and then there's one time whenever I peed my pants or whatever, just going through shit, man. I'm just like, goddamn, Chunk, like just shut up, man. Another a cool little Easter egg that they kind of, well, I guess less of an Easter egg, but just something cool that they noticed. They had a Lou Gehrig baseball card because they found like one of the guys who was looking for One Eye Willie's like treasure, and they like pull, like they're like searching through his stuff, and they find a Lou Gehrig's baseball card, which I thought was pretty cool. And then there's a scene where there's like a rock on the wall, and the girl with the glasses, right, blonde hair and the glasses, she's like talking to Bron. She's like, no, Bron, don't move that rock. God intended that rock to be there. It was like a reference to like Jesus dying and moving the rock or something.
Oh, really?
It was so weird. Yeah, because she's like, no, God placed that rock there for a reason. It's not meant to be moved. And it's like him moving a stone to like let some light out because they can kind of escape. It was really weird. I was just like, that's a Jesus reference. All right, like I guess we're doing this. Now, plot holes, right? One thing I was thinking about was, One Eye Willie's like trapped, right? Because they tell the story that he's being chased by like Spaniards or something like that, right? Or like an armada, and he escapes, and he kind of they blow him, like they don't blow him to bits, but a bunch of shit happens, and he gets stuck in this tunnel, and then he dies with all the gold and everything like that. Who made all the booby traps?
Must have been the crew.
Was it the crew? You think it was the crew? Because I was trying to think of that, and I was just like, because like the crew, again, spoilers if you've never seen this film, at the end, like they come in and they go into the boats and everybody's dead.
Yeah.
Like I guess that's kind of one of the themes, is like greed, right? It's like being greedy.
Yeah,
like,
I guess they figured they were never going to get out of there, so they might as well just make sure no one else can get in to get the gold or whatever, the treasures.
And this is why we have podcasts, because you answer the fucking questions that I don't get or understand. I was really curious. I was like, why would they do all that shit? Like go through all the trouble to make all the booby traps. Two, like they couldn't get out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they were like, there was literally rocks where they were at, like where the boat or the ship was at.
Yeah.
And like they couldn't escape. Like there was no way to kind of like open the rocks, open sesame, and then like fucking go through the rocks or something like that, you know? So I was kind of trying to think like, if they were trapped in there, why would they make booby traps to only further trap themselves so they couldn't get out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
it seems like as easy as that wall came down when the boat sailed out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why didn't they just kind of maneuver the boat so the cannons are facing that and just blow their way out?
Plot holes. Plot holes.
I guess maybe they weren't smart enough. Maybe they didn't think the cannons were powerful enough.
They
had, I guess not, because a cannon, a cannonball's not an explosion. It's just going to hit it.
Yep.
And if it's not a strong enough hit, it's not going to knock it down. It just might rattle. Maybe it'll cause the rest of the ceiling to fall. Maybe they thought, or something.
No, for sure. Again, we're just speculating, right? So it was one of those things. Like, I just didn't understand. I was like, okay, so you're not letting anybody get in, but how the fuck are you getting out?
Right.
And like, how much food and stuff and effort did you make so that nobody could come get you? That, you know what I mean? Like, I was just really confused about that whole situation. I was just like, you guys rather kept your gold and died with it than to fucking, whatever. But there was a scene also. There was another scene too where, I don't know if you remember, there's like, as they're going through the tunnels, there's like water pipes, and they're like pulling the water pipes and stuff, and people are like, there's a scene where they're like, somebody's trying to get a drink of water after playing
and
tennis.
The fountain keeps going up and down.
It goes up and down, right? And he's like trying to drink it. Well, there's also another scene where there's these guys who are in a shower, and one of the guys has an eye patch.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I was just like, oh shit. And it's the same side that One Eye Willie had his eye patch on.
Huh.
I was just, again, just cool little things. I was just like, oh, that's a cool like tie-in where they like kind of make that in the movie and stuff. It's just like, oh, cool, they got their own little One Eye Willie, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like once they got into the ship, right? And I saw this on Reddit, right? Reddit kind of made the comment where somebody on Reddit posted that they said that, like, and it was kind of like a plot hole. So I was like, hey, how like everything on the map is in Spanish, but it rhymes in English? I was like, oh shit, that's a good point. Like, because when they're reading it, right, it all rhymes, but it's just like it's tough to try to write something in Spanish to rhyme, but also rhyme in English, kind of thing. So
yeah.
I thought that was like an interesting, just kind of like, call out that somebody kind of made as well. But Mike says something at the end, and maybe it could be in a deleted scene, or I don't know if maybe you can kind of tie this in for me. But how is, like, Mike is like talking to One Eye Willie by himself, right? Like, he's in there. It's just Sean Austin like makes it goes underneath like the ship or whatever, and they're at the bottom, or like they go to like the secret passage, and they're in there and they're talking to him, and he's like, you and I, Willie, we're exactly the same. What do you think he means by that? Do you feel like Mikey's like adventurous, and like obviously they go through that, and he's all about like, I gotta figure this out.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he has like a spiritual calling with One Eye Willie, right? Like throughout the film he's continuing to say like, I know you're here. I know you're here somewhere. I know you're guiding me the right way. Like, I know I'm going the right way. Like, I know I know you're helping me here. I know you're here somewhere. So it's like, it was almost like they have like a spiritual bond without having a spiritual bond. Like, he's never met One Eye Willie. Obviously, it's been years before, but like, it's like he's like, hey man, you and I are exactly the same. And I didn't get it. Like, I was just like, well, how, kid? Like, that was a pirate that like looted and fucking destroyed things. It was like, is it kind of maybe because he'll do anything that it takes to, complete the mission, kind of thing? Like, he was trying to save his family, and I think, that was partial.
Or maybe he feels like, and because they, like, everyone refers to the Goonies as outcasts.
Oh, okay.
And so pirates are probably outcast. They're outcasts from regular civilization. Like,
yeah,
you're not going to see pirates hanging out with the rich.
No, that makes sense, and I guess that's kind of like what the story is kind of based on a little bit, because like there's some developers that want to buy the homes that are within this like the Goon Docks or something, and that's why they call themselves the Goonies or whatever. But I guess like, and it was like the family that wanted to buy it was really rich, and I think they even kind of talk about it a few times in some conversations that they have with like the dad and these people who want to buy their home and stuff. So and like those people are really rich, and like their family doesn't have that much money, but I'm all like, they have like a fucking 2-story house with like 5 bedrooms, and it's like, how are they not rich or like have enough money? I don't know. I guess
unless the house is like passed down from family member to family member, generation to generation.
That's true. And I guess his dad was a curator, so I don't know if curators make a lot of money in Astoria, Oregon.
It's kind of like the question of like when people like talk about Home Alone, and they're like, what did Kevin McAllister's dad do to afford that house? Paid for everyone's plane tickets to Paris.
Exactly. So I think
Like
it's kind of
what was his dad? What was his dad doing?
he was selling drugs. And I'm just kidding. he, okay, yeah, he was in thick with Pablo Escobar.
Something.
We'll have to do a whole episode on like his drug ties and how he was able to do all that stuff with the family
Because
and
of
stuff like that.
Chicago. Because aren't they from Chicago?
Yeah, they are.
So maybe he's with the Chicago Mafia.
Ooh, okay, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and have a whole episode about Kevin McAllister's father being in the mob with his father, and that's how he knew how to do all the tricks and stuff because he had seen people be tortured.
Right.
He's like He's like burn the knob, burn the handle, so when they come in, they can burn their shit, you know. So, but yeah, no, man, kind of going back to the Goonies. So yeah, there was just some few questions, but I like that. I just didn't see them as much. Like I guess maybe the '80s were a little bit different, right? And then being outcasted was different from like other people being outcasted. But either way,
Yeah.
like I get that, man, and I think that kind of speaks to that. And I think that you made a good point. It's like the Goonies was definitely about outcasts and being different and not going the way that everybody else goes, right? Like you're kind of you're not that conformist kind of person. Like you're doing things different to be able to kind of survive. Because again, they had a cleaning lady. They hired a cleaning lady to come clean the house. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like. How much did the house like again, and maybe it was the 80s Reaganomics, right? Like, things were becoming more expensive and, people weren't making as much money. So they were trying to kind of counterbalance that. And which is one of the reasons probably why they were going to potentially lose their house. Like they needed to, and that's the whole thing is like, man, we're not going to be together no more. You guys are going to leave here. You're not going to, be a part of this and stuff. So that you make a good point. I think that's why that movie resonates so much with so many people. It's like it's just the comedy of it. It's the timelessness of just like adventure and doing something different. And I even like to argue that the kids are also pirates themselves, right? Because they have a code, right? They say Goonies never die. They're not going to leave each other behind. They're going to stick with one another, and they're going to stick up for one another as well, right? So it's like they have their own pirate code in a sense, and they're searching for treasure, right? And it's like, even though they get down there and they're just like, or they get down there and they finally find the treasure, they're like loading up their jackets and stuff. They're like, take everything except leave Willie's because Willie's a fellow pirate, and it's just like, we're not going to just take all his stuff. We want to take all this, we're going to take everything else. So they're loading up, man. They're taking it up for themselves to make sure that they have enough money for their family. And at the end, of course, they find the jewels and, which is funny to watch now because I'm all like, man, those jewels look like they found them like they're just glass, like that's painted or something like that.
Right.
So, so yeah, man, it's a good movie, man. I enjoyed rewatching it. This is like probably my third or second time rewatching it. So it's not a movie that I go to very often, but man, entertaining. Characters are fucking hilarious, man. I think they all kind of play into who they are. I think that another a theme that's in there is like family, man. Like I think that even though Braun and Mikey like kind of like pick on each other and stuff like that, like there's a scene where like Mikey's like really sad and he's like almost in tears and stuff, and his brother comes up and hugs him and like gives him a hug, man. And so it's like that brotherly love, that family love, man, is still there, and it was good to kind of see within the film. So we don't call this We Three Bros for nothing, man. We love each other, so it's all good. Okay, that was a terrible tie-in, but whatever, man.
There's always a meaning behind it.
100%, man. So but yeah, man, so the Goonies was great. It was good to rewatch it, man. If you haven't watched it, Derek, definitely try to watch it. Another thing too, man, another plot hole. How does Chuck just adopt Sloth? At the end, he like looks him in his face. And he's just like, "You're gonna live with me now."
Yeah, I don't know.
He's like, "You're gonna live with me now forever because I love you." And it just takes like they're just gonna invite Sloth in the home, like it's just gonna take him in and like let it. I don't know, man. It was interesting. Which, by the way, another fun little fun fact about it. So the guy who played Sloth was actually the #1 draft pick by the Houston Oilers.
Wow.
So he played for the Oilers. He played for a few other football teams and won 2 championships with the Raiders, man.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, so also competed in the strongman competition and I think it was in '78 and got like 8th place or something like that. So the guy was strong.
Yeah.
So he was big. Like rewatching it, he was huge, man. So he wasn't just huge because like he was just some guy or whatever. No, he was huge because he was like a football player and stuff. So just fun fact, man. He was a former football player, drafted by the Houston Oilers, and then played on different teams for a few years, and then eventually ended up for the Raiders for multiple years, and then won 2 championships with them. And I think he retired after they won their 2nd championship.
That's pretty cool, actually.
So cool fun facts, man. Just some things that I was able to kind of, look up and stuff like that. And I think it's funny that Sean Austin's character, right, which is Mikey, was all adventurous and kind of trying to do all those things. Was also in the Lord of the Rings and did the same thing,
Right.
except he was trying to destroy, something that was something good, not the opposite or the
Yeah.
opposite or whatever, right? Not trying to go out to get treasure. He was trying to destroy the ring with Frodo and stuff, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, he's a great actor. I think again he went on to have a great career. Was it Corey Feldman, right?
Yeah.
He went on to have a great career too. Was like just like one of those like teen. I don't want to say heartthrob, but definitely like a teen like actor that was like famous and was like anything that he was in, man, was great. Or he was gonna
Yeah.
be the cool guy or be something that was like he was gonna be the guy.
Yeah.
So
Because he was also in Stand By Me.
Yes, he was. Yes,
And
he
then
was.
he was also in oh man. Why can't I think of Lost Boys?
Oh yeah, he was in Lost Boys. We got to do an episode on Lost Boys, man. That's another film that I watched a few years ago that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Vampires and everything like that, man.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes, Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah.
So he was also in Stand By Me also.
Yes, he was. Yeah, so Stand By Me. He was also, I believe, he was also Michelangelo in one of the Ninja Turtle films.
For real?
Yeah, he like voiced him. Yeah. I don't think he wore the costume. I think he just voiced him or whatever.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
which is funny because in Goonies, like he's like, "Hey, yo, Mikey," and so
oh yeah.
So like he later becomes like he goes in there.
So is he Raph?
Huh?
Who is he? Who did he voice? Which Ninja Turtle did he voice?
No,
Donatello.
No, it was Michelangelo. I believe it
Oh,
was. Let me double check, man. If he was Ralph, that makes a lot of sense because he's just like a brooding, upset person or whatever. So, oh no, he was Donatello.
yeah, because that's who usually would be like, "Hey, yo, Mikey."
Hey, yo, Mikey. But yeah, he says it in the Goonies, and like once he said it, I was like, holy shit, I forgot that he was in the Ninja Turtles. So he voiced it. He voiced him as well. So, which is another film that I'll probably be covering here within the next few weeks or
Oh,
something
he
like
was
that.
in Gremlins also.
Oh no shit.
Yep, Ninja Turtles. He was in a bunch of the Friday the 13th movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Stand By Me, Lost Boys, Corbin Nash. I don't know what that is. The Burbs. Oh yeah, he was in Meatballs. I don't know how or why I saw that movie, but I definitely watched that movie at some point. I don't know why. Judge me if you will, but
Hey, he was in a lot of movies. He's done a lot.
it's again, he was one of those kids that's like he just showed up and it was like it was either gonna be a good movie or at least he was gonna be good in it,
Yeah.
So kind of messed up how his life eventually turned out, but we won't talk about that, right? So
Yeah.
but then like but yeah, man, so Goonies, good film, highly recommend if you've never seen it before. Got some good stuff in there, and everything like that. But yeah, but that's kind of that's all I got for you today. I know we're probably gonna wrap this up soon, so just want to say thank you for everybody listening. Appreciate you guys coming back all the time. Derek, you want to say a few words?
Yeah, man. I'm glad that we were able to. We took a week off. Everyone had like a very conflicting schedule last week, so it was hard. But we're back again. Thanks for everyone that is for everyone's patience. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for listening. Check out the website we3bros.com. You can find all our episodes on there. There's going to be an about us section that talks about each of us. The three guys. That's coming soon. There's a contact if if you want to fill out something and put some little ideas or you got some comments, throw them in there. I check that pretty much on a daily basis. And also there's some merch, man. We got some t-shirts, a little tote, a coffee mug for you coffee drinkers, or you can put some water or tea in it, whatever you want. But check out the t-shirts especially. We're kind of proud of those. So yeah, just make sure you hit up the website we3bros.com. And stick around for the next episode. We'll be back again next week to continue this conversation. And hopefully Justin will be back. We miss him. Hopefully his daughter feels better. That's why he wasn't here today. He had, his daughter wasn't feeling well today, so he had to take care of her. So hopefully Julia feels better. And thanks for coming
Julia.
by. So I guess we'll see you on the next one. Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah, have a good day. See you on the next one. We're going to talk about some PlayStation exclusives and which we think are some of the best ones. We're going to talk about Untold, a documentary that's coming up on Netflix. And as always, he's out there and I'm always searching. Bigfoot, man. I got you, bro. I'm coming for you. All right, Derek, man.
All right. See you guys later.